Hello, hello, everybody. Cor, look what I got here.
Oh, I
These are
don't know
the
how I feel about those.
these are the best ones I've ever had. I've had protein chips before that are just like utterly disgusting.
Yeah.
These aren't bad. I'm actually surprised at how good they are.
Sometimes I've had those before, and they start to taste too much like protein. Like three of them are good, and then you have like 6, 7, 8, and then you're just like, this doesn't taste good, and it starts giving me a headache.
Well, here's the thing. Sometimes they're too chalky. They taste like a little chalky.
Yeah.
And then the other issue with protein, anything really, is sometimes you get that little aftertaste that's like not the best. But as far as protein chips go, this really is the best ones I've ever had.
What flavor is that? Like a cheddar?
Nacho cheese?
Oh. Yeah, but see, I would just want some nacho cheese Doritos.
Well, yeah, but just a nacho cheese Doritos are not 18 grams of protein, 4 net carbs.
Yeah, no, I guess. Oh, that's not bad for net carbs.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
I would have to do. So you're back on your healthy shit.
Just trying to low carb a little bit because I usually get a little fatter in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
Just try to cut out the sugar, cut out the carbs as much as possible, and then whatever happens, happens.
You told me that, and then I sent a text. Like it had to process in my brain a little bit because I think as you were telling me that, I think I might have been buying some White Castle burgers or something like that, or buying something dumb unhealthy. I have to have the Popeyes chicken sandwich before I purge, like, because if I go all in healthy, and I'm on the fence.
I'm gonna do a cheat meal. Like I'll do every Friday. I'll have a cheat meal.
Yeah, but like, I'm either end of the spectrum. Like it's like either super all in.
Yeah.
Where I'm debating. But somebody told me recently, I think it was my brother, that deli meat is not good for you.
No, deli meat's not that great for you. No.
But like, what? Is it worse than, White Castle sliders?
No, those are both bad.
Why is deli meat so bad? Like that used to be my shit.
It's processed meat. It's processed. You want like unprocessed meat. Like if you get like a rotisserie chicken or something, as long as it's not like super OD drenched in sauce.
I know, but I'm trying to find something that like during lunch I used to just take meat and I would wrap it up in cheese and I would do it with ham.
Well, you're going to lose weight that way because you're having no carbs, but that doesn't mean that what you're eating is just healthy because you're having no carbs. You know what I'm saying? Like the way I'm eating now, I'm not eating healthy. This isn't healthy. It's just like having fewer carbs. I'm not going to blow up like I do sometimes in the winter. But it doesn't mean I'm eating healthy. Like healthy's a little bit different than just cutting back on the sugar and the carbs. I mean, that in and of itself is healthier.
Yeah.
But it's not like I'm, eating a Mediterranean diet every day or whatever, which would actually be healthy.
We revolve so much of our lives around deli meat.
Not me. I don't have that much deli meat.
No, but like growing up as a kid, you never had
like turkey sandwich or whatever. Yeah, I've had that, of course.
Or went to a deli and got like boar's head, but now I'm being told that it's bad. Like, there's a designated section in the supermarket for this shit. You can't tell me that it's that bad if there's a whole section called like
Dog, there's a whole junk food section. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, but it's smaller than the deli. Like you go to a grocery store, the whole corner of the shit is a deli with the whole thing of different brands of deli meats.
So when you go grocery shopping, what do you usually get from the deli?
Well, back when I was eating healthy, I would go there and I'd get like a half a pound of turkey. I would get like the honey turkey because that's
so much better. I know, it tastes so much better.
It's night and day.
Yeah, I know.
And even like the honey ham. Sometimes they had like this. They would do like a glazed chicken thing.
Yep.
That you can get off the slicer.
Glazed. We're back to the glazed discussion. Remember?
That's glazed.
OD on point.
Salami is good.
I'm not a big salami guy.
I don't know if it's salami or bologna or one of them. One of the circular ones.
Probably salami.
Salami. Yeah, salami. I don't like bologna because that has like the white chunks in it. It looks like macadamia nuts or whatever.
I'm on board with the first three you said.
And what else would I get?
And you get some like American cheese with it, right?
Nah, cheddar all day.
I get cheddar, okay.
Cheddar all day. Maybe some Munster I would wrap it up with. But American, I never was a fan of American.
Really?
Deli? Yeah. I
That's
get tight
interesting.
at diners. So I go to a lot of shady diners that are just like hole-in-the-wall spots. But that's usually where you get like the best potatoes that have just been sitting on the grill for like mad long. Dude probably just like took a diesel shit, didn't wash his hands, just went right back to the grill. But that's your best type of like like the plate's a little dirty. Family owned spot. Sometimes they don't have cheddar cheese. They sometimes hit me with like we just got American cheese, and I get a little bit tight at them.
Every kind of cheese except like goat cheese and ricotta cheese I can have, and I like.
You said that word mad Italian.
Ricotta. Yeah, but it's like goat cheese, that weird consistency. Ugh.
I'm a little tight of people that are so obsessed with cheese because it's
I mean, it's good as hell.
It is, but it shouldn't be as much of a staple as it is. Like when I get bacon, egg, and cheeses, I tell them no cheese, and they give me a look like if you were to order just like a bacon egg on a roll, they would assume you want cheese on it.
Yeah, 50-50. I feel like it's 50-50 on that. Like they might be literal and just give you the bacon and egg, but yeah, there's a 50% chance they'll just throw the cheese on there.
Like even when you order a hamburger, it's like it's your next question is gonna be like with cheese. It goes back to like the peanut butter and jelly thing where it's like almost
gotten
cheese.
asked that every time I've ever ordered a hamburger. They're like, "You want cheese with that?"
Yeah, cheese or without.
I'm like, no, that's why I said ham and not cheese.
Exactly, and I don't know why cheese is so like regarded as this like all-time almighty food in our food ecosystem when it's just a piece of cheese.
Nah, I gotta disagree with you on the overall point because cheese is really good, man.
It's really good, but it's not like they're asking me like, oh, do you want me to drounce your hamburger in milk?
That would be weird as hell.
I know. So why is cheese on your burger not weird as hell?
Because cheese fits better than dipping anything in milk.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of cheese. I think I am a big fan of cheddar cheese. There's a Wisconsin sharp cheddar that they make by me here. That
I like sharp cheddar. Sharp cheddar is good.
Just banging. Munster was always very good.
But like cheddar is like cheese on steroids. Like I feel like cheddar is like they took some American and they were like, let's inject this with steroids. And so you like the steroid version, but not the normal version.
Yeah, I guess so.
So you like cheese more than you think you like cheese because you like the cheesiest cheese.
Well, let's go through the cheese things I like. I like Cheez-Its. I like cheese pizza.
That's some processed shit.
I like I don't like Cheese Whiz. I like mozzarella in mozzarella sticks, but I don't like mozzarella balls. You know,
the balls are the fresh ones. Yeah, I hear you on that.
I don't like
that. The fresh ones. That's a totally different kind of mozzarella. Right. It's not even close to the same thing. They should give it a different name.
They should, right?
Or they should pick one to be mozzarella, and then the other one change it.
Yeah, I think the one inside the mozzarella stick has to be called some like artificial shit, like M cheese, just something weird, something different.
Madago,
that works.
That might be a place though.
Madago is definitely a place in Italy. I do like cheese, the string cheese. I'm okay with. That's mozzarella, right?
Yeah, string cheese is usually mozzarella.
Right.
But there's also, isn't there like white American too? There's the like orangey American, and then there's the white American.
That one. Like, I hated when they switched up the mozzarella sticks, and they used to just be all white, and you would peel it, and that was the normal one. Then they came out with that one that was like orange and white, and the orange one tastes funky. And then another thing that's popular.
You have a really specific like cheese palate.
Yeah, because it's like there's so many different types of cheeses that if you like.
My only rule is no goat cheese, none of that weird consistency. I don't like any of that. But outside of that, I'll have any cheese. I like pepper jack cheese. I like blue cheese. I like all of them.
But blue cheese, it's like it crumbles.
Blue cheese is technically molding. It is molding cheese.
Yeah, and how is that good?
Because it tastes banging.
It's like if there was if they made Doritos but left them out and got all moldy and they were like they taste better.
Then I'd be having some moldy ass Doritos, huh?
I don't know how you ate that whole bag because legit I get a headache when I eat the whole bag of that.
I don't have a headache.
That gives me like the I don't know if it's like the protein or just the way the chip tastes, but like I don't want to mix.
We've had a 1,000 food conversations, and I'm still just learning today more about your palate because apparently, for some reason, protein chips make your head hurt, and apparently, you're super specific in the cheeses you like and don't like.
Cheddar is the main one, but it's just there's so many different categories.
You like Swiss?
Nope.
What?
Nope. Don't like Swiss.
Who doesn't like Swiss cheese?
Don't get me wrong. If I'm at a barbecue and it's chilling,
Provolone?
Provolone. No.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I'll eat a slice of it, but I'm not ordering that. That's not the one I'm getting. You know, which I don't think anyone is specifically. It's not like Nike or Adidas. I think there's like American and cheddar are like the Nike, and everybody orders that. And unless you're just like, oh, like you're not going. Are you going to the grocery store and buying like going out of your way to buy provolone?
No, see, I don't get deli meats as often as you do.
Yeah.
But when I do get deli meats, usually I'll get like some of the honey roasted turkey.
Yep.
And then whatever cheese is next to it. Sometimes it's Swiss, sometimes it's provolone. So it's like it's a mix. But I'll get whatever the fresh one is.
Oh, I'm not even looking at other cheeses. I'm not even entertaining it. Like
you're married to cheddar.
Cheddar, yeah, and I don't know why, but there's different kinds of cheddars. Like there's a sharp cheddar, and then there's like different levels within the cheddar.
I agree with that. Yeah. I like them all. They're all good. All the cheddars are good.
Munster is very good. Those are the only two that I'll vary on.
It's funny that like you like Munster and you like cheddar, but you don't like provolone.
Nope.
You don't like any American cheese.
I think I would put provolone on my cheesesteaks in Philly because I think that's the type of cheese that they have out there.
Banging.
Yeah. It's like you got to pair it correctly.
Yeah, but I'm a little bit somewhat adventurous with the cheeses. Like there's like if I tell my mom like, "Oh, I had whatever, a burger and they put this kind of cheese on it." She'll be like, "What?" And I'm like, "It's cheese." Like
no. I agree with her. So their cheddar I think goes with omelets. Provolone might go with Philly cheesesteaks. Maybe that's the cheese for it. Hamburgers, maybe American cheese, but like Munster doesn't really work on a hamburger.
I think I've never had a hamburger with Munster, but if you put Munster on a hamburger, I'd probably like it. In the same way, like I've had cheeseburgers with Swiss on it, and I was like, "This is delicious."
Nah, can't get behind that. I don't think it's. What was I just gonna?
They sell like a Swiss mushroom burger at a burger place by me.
Yes.
Sort of banging.
Yeah, that is in its own category of burgers. I've seen that before. The mushrooms with the Swiss.
Yeah,
that's
sort of banging. I'm actually surprised at how good it is.
I think even Burger King or McDonald's or one of those places.
Oh, they have that?
Yeah, they put a mushroom.
Because that always strikes me more like a higher end burger food place type stuff.
That was
like
that was their play though.
Yeah.
Their play was like to be like a higher end burger.
Right, yeah.
But I don't want to put mushrooms on it. And also, don't try and convince me that Canadian bacon is just as good
no.
regular bacon.
No, that's crazy. In fact, it's a little bit of a crime that they even call Canadian bacon Canadian bacon.
Yes.
Because it's ham. It's just call it ham. Why are you calling it Canadian bacon?
And it just looks weird and it's thicker and it's bigger. And Molly's always like, it's bacon. Just eat it.
No, it's not bacon. It's not. That's not bacon. That's Canadian ham. Like, that's ham.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not bacon. I don't know why they call it bacon. That drives me crazy.
It pisses me off. And I had an IHOP. I was in Kissimmee, Florida, and I ordered a side of bacon. And I think I got 4 pieces of bacon. They gave me 3 regular bacon shits. And they must have ran out. And they gave me a Canadian bacon thing. And it looked different on the plate.
Nah.
And the 3 pieces of bacon were looking like crusty as fuck. But the last piece of bacon was Canadian. And I was so hungry that I ate it, and it just tasted different. And I was like, don't try and fool it. Like,
it's not bacon. It's wrong that they call that bacon. That's really messed up. Like, that's just not true.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a totally different thing.
I don't even know. Like, did it start in Canada? How did Canadian bacon become a thing?
My guess is that when they serve that in Canada, they call that bacon. They're weird things that, like that when it comes to food. Like, if you go to Britain, you know what they call chips? They call them crisps. And chips are fries. So if you say, I want to order some chips, they serve you fries.
Yeah. But it's weird because we've been in Canada. We've been in Montreal. And I don't know if it's close enough to like New York and the States, all that stuff, where I've ordered a cheese omelet with bacon and they've given me regular bacon.
Right. I mean, now it's at the point where I think you'd have to order Canadian bacon to get the ham stuff. You know what I mean?
I would like to look up the origins of Canadian bacon.
But I bet, like, back in the day, if you ordered bacon, if the year's like 1920 and you order bacon in Canada, they're giving you ham. You know, like you just say.
What if you order a ham?
Then they give you ham that's like cut in a little different way. You know what I mean? Like a more square way.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, ham used to be, well, yeah, I guess if you order ham.
Ham is massively hit or miss to me, man. Like, you could have some ham that's okay, and then you could have a bite of ham, and you're just like, that's the grossest thing I've ever had.
Yeah. But, yeah, all I remember growing up was having deli meat as a kid and deli sandwiches. And now, like, to be told that I can't have that shit is sort of like...
You can have it, and it's definitely... Let me put it this way. If you have, like, chicken and turkey, if you stick to those two, and you have that with, like, a little piece of cheese or whatever, that's way healthier than 90% of the other things that you would be eating in its place. You know what I mean?
Does my body look totally different when I eat that shit? Just because I'm cutting out all bread?
When you cut... That's the thing, is, like, when... We have very carb-heavy diets in the U.S., and doctors used to say that if you eat fat, like if you're eating fat, that's what makes you fat. And so people moved away from fat and started eating more carbs. And when they ate more carbs, they actually got fatter, because it turns out that that's like the real thing that's a bigger problem is the carbs. If you're eating carbs, you're eating sugar all the time, like that's the thing that's really bad for you. So... if you just make a concerted effort, this is what I'm doing now. I'm just making a concerted effort. I'm not eliminating carbs, but I'm just trying to reduce them big time. And then if you do that, you'll see that you just feel better and you feel healthier. And, you know, and if you do have carbs, make it like the healthy ones, like have some fruit or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Don't like shove your face with bread or candy.
Oh, but bread tastes so good, man. Bread tastes so good.
It does,
and pancakes are so good.
If you set your mind to not having bread and limiting the carbs, I'm telling you, man, there's things that are close enough that trick you enough. Like, I was surprised at how good that cauliflower pizza was.
Yeah. Do they have any other flavors of that, like, thing?
I'm sure they do, but I didn't see any other. But I'm sure they do. I'll probably have that later tonight, to be honest.
Yeah. I feel like it's also easier to find a lot more healthier stuff now because companies are gearing that towards more people are doing diets and like
I was so happy
programs and everything.
Dog, they had a whole Atkins section in my grocery store, and I was like, oh, and I just was like grabbing stuff. I'll take this. I'll take this. I'll take this.
That's what I'm saying. It's easy now to find healthier stuff. Like I know cereal legit in the cereal aisle now, they have like the labels on top. The shit say like it'll say like
gluten-free
better cereal for you.
Yeah.
And then you get down to the Lucky Charms, and the shit basically says like nasty ass shit. Like I forgot what it says, but it says like some like basically like some candy type shit. And then you could look, and they put like Kashi has a cereal and stuff like that, and it's all in like the healthy. It'll say healthier cereal.
Yeah.
So like the supermarket try to bless you as much as they can. Like having that Atkins section and stuff like that.
Yeah, they literally put it like it's in a section where it's not even like the whole section is food. Like they have it in the same section of the grocery store where there's like vitamins and stuff.
Oh, for real?
You know what I'm saying? Like they have this little Atkins section with all like the bars that have like no sugar, no carbs, right next to like vitamins, whatever, Centrum, all that stuff.
All the good shit for you. Yeah, even though I was surprised. And I don't know how people find this stuff out, but like my brother told me that like even GNC and vitamin shops, the majority of the shit that are in those stores is not healthy for you.
Oh, of course, it's trash because there's no if you label something a supplement, there's no FDA regulation.
Yeah.
So you can get away with whatever you want to get. You call it a supplement, and as long as you're not allowed to definitively say like this will do X, but you can use weasel words and say like it aids in this, this, and this. As long as you don't say directly, it does this, then you could sell a supplement. And they did studies on them, and it turns out that a lot of the stuff in Vitamin Shop and GNC, that like a lot of it's just like soy powder that they pretend is other stuff. Like they did tests on it, and they're like, what it says on the label is not actually the thing that's in this pill.
How is that possible?
Because they don't have FDA regulation, man. When you buy a pharmaceutical drug, like you get prescribed a drug from the doctor, all that stuff has been heavily regulated, where they know exactly what's in it and there's quality control. But if you get a supplement, that's just not FDA regulated, so you can get away with saying whatever and like putting whatever in it.
It's so crazy too because the people who are probably creating these vitamins and these pills definitely like are feeding money to the people at the top of like these FDA organizations and stuff like that to get whatever they want passed into their pill to make it so you could lose weight from having. It's just probably such a corrupt system at the top that like they could get away with doing whatever the fuck they want.
Absolutely. If Congress wanted, they could pass a law tomorrow that says supplements have to have quality control and they'd have regulation on it, but they don't do it. And I'm sure they don't do it for the reason you said. I'm sure like these supplement companies have given money to politicians and they're like, yo, just keep looking the other way, dog.
Of course.
But there is one upside of this too, though. And the upside of it is oftentimes like they will sell at Vitamin Shop and GNC and stuff products that like legit are like steroids. And then it takes them a while to find out, like, yo, this product is basically steroids. And then when they figure it out, then they'll take it off the market. But like companies get away with selling like steroids, amphetamines, all types of stuff because there's not regulation of it.
Well, look at Four Locos. Remember when they first came out, how strong Four Locos were and like how fucked up kids would get? And they basically were saying like it's basically cocaine.
It's cocaine and alcohol basically together in a can.
Cocaine,
I used to drink it
alcohol,
too.
coffee.
I used to have Four Loko.
Hell yeah, you would have one of those and you'd be done.
Woo!
People would
Gone,
say like,
baby.
Molly used to drink like 2 or 3 of those, I think, in college or something.
We didn't realize what we were doing. We're putting like jet fuel in our body at like 9 o'clock at night, and then you're just awake until 4:30 with your heart beating.
And then they rebranded like Four Loko because they were like whatever lawsuits or whatever. They found out actually what was in it, and people hearts probably exploding. And then they came back with a new version of it, and it was like now it was like tested and this and that.
Yeah, safer.
Safer.
But I must say, it is annoying when they did the whole like we have to ban it thing. It's like no, just do like make it a little bit not as crazy. Like just change the formula a little bit. But when they talk about banning it, it's like, screw you, man. Because you can go into, if you drink whiskey, you'll, like, kill yourself,
Yeah, that
like
is a good point. I mean, like, why they crack down on Four Locos?
Because it was college kids who were drinking it. That's why, because they're in college. So they're like,
and
oh,
you know
my
what
God,
it was?
my kid.
They were probably making a lot of money off of it. Like the same thing with these the Juul things. It's like, yeah, I'm sure it's bad for you, but you could still go buy a carton of cigarettes. And there's no regulations against it.
And cigarettes are way worse than Juul.
Way worse.
Yeah.
It's so fucked up how it's like.
There's no consistency. That's why I get pissed. It's like whatever is the hot thing at the minute, they'll be like, we got to do something about this. Why? There's a million other things that are worse, and you're focusing on this? It's like, yeah, because this is the hot thing. And this is the thing that the college kids are using and stuff. And the company's getting mad rich.
Yeah, someone we don't know who's not playing the game, who's not a part of the system, is making too much money off of it. So let's just shut it down now.
Yep, that's it.
It's so grimy.
It's mad annoying too. Like, you have like these middle-aged like soccer moms who are like, my kid had too much Four Loko and he had to go to the hospital. It's like, okay, then tell your kid to not be an idiot.
Yeah, someone sent me. It might have been you or someone sent me an article of some girl was suing the college for she fell off a roof at a party or something like that, and like it's basically like your daughter didn't know how to like control her alcohol and stuff like that, and now you're blaming the school for it. Like, R.I.P. to your daughter for sure, but like there's some like you need to take some responsibility, and I don't know.
Yeah, but that does happen a lot. You're right. Where there will be these weird lawsuits where it's like there are people who've sued the cigarette companies long after it was known that they cause cancer, and they sue them because they got cancer.
Well, people will find any reason, like someone suing McDonald's because their coffee cup.
Oh, the hot coffee. Yeah, that was the famous case. Yeah,
people
I remember that.
I mean, like, maybe these ridges in the Solo cup, I spill it on myself because, I can't hold the cup properly, and I sue Solo because
they would OD throw you out of court so quick. They'd be like, shut up. Get out of here.
What's the point of the ridges? Like, my hands, if I put them perfectly aligned within the ridges how you want me to have them, I can't drink it as good as if there were no ridges there. So now
Dog, you casually mentioned the ridges, and you were just like, I'm committing to this. I'm not going to back off this one. I'm going to say something about the ridges.
As I started to explain it, I sort of started to believe it a little bit more. Like, I'm trying to put my hand in the ridges, and it's not perfect. I don't drink like this.
Okay, well, to change the topic here.
They do actually have the good ridges. The ridges are actually in a good spot. So shout out to Hefty.
To change the topic here, Kamala Harris just dropped out of the race.
Are you serious?
Yeah, man.
What?
Yup.
Wow.
Kamala Harris just dropped out of the race.
Why isn't that breaking news? They just had breaking news about Trump. Oh, I'm on ABC. They're not saying anything.
Well, ABC is not like CNN or MSNBC or Fox News. They're ABC.
Oh, Mike Bloomberg. I just turned to NBC and there's a Mike Bloomberg ad. Yeah, no, before like the Kelly Clarkson show came on, they were saying that like Trump put his personal brand before the president. Like it was just, there was another press conference of a guy saying something about Trump that's going to get nothing done.
Exactly. It's so weird to watch them. Like they're in their own world, man, where they're just like, this is it. This is it. We got him. We got him. Look, walls are closing in. Bombshell. And then just nothing happens. But
people keep showing up to these press conferences and they still have to write stuff and they still act like they care and try to be professional. But it's like nobody cares.
I've
Trump
spoken
probably doesn't even know that they're having this press conference.
Dude, I ask a lot of people about like, have you been following impeachment? I've yet to hear one person be like, yes, I'm watching it regularly.
No idea what's going on.
Nobody's following it. And every day they think they're like, we got him. That's it. We totally got him. Every day they're like that.
Everything that happens in these whole... is this Tom Hanks, Roger... Didn't they come out with this Mr. Rogers movie like 40 times already?
I have no idea.
It's like all over the TV.
No idea.
I don't know what... Okay. I'm tired of seeing Mr. Rogers shit. All of a sudden, it's like he's fucking everywhere. Yeah, but the impeachment hearings... Trump is just not involved in any of it, and all it is just other people sort of like incriminating themselves or making themselves look like idiots. Like they're going after one guy, but all it does is take down other people that like testify.
They just
is that sort of what happens?
No, what they do is they'll like take whatever one person will be like, you know, they don't say this directly, but to sum it up, somebody will be like, Trump did something really, really wrong here. And then the news for the next day and a half will be like, he said it. He said that Trump did something really, really wrong here. And then Trump goes on Twitter and he's like, wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. Fake news. And then the next day they're still just like, nah, but the dude said you did something wrong though. So let's talk about that for another day and a half. And then it's just repeat that same process 1,000 times over. It's never ending. It's like a Twilight Zone episode where every day they're like, we got him. Now something's going to happen, right? And then nothing happens. And then they'll fast forward to next week. There'll be another thing somebody says. And they're like, we got him. We got him now for sure. That's it, right? We got him now, right? And then nothing happens. Then you just keep fast forward.
It's just a fucking like, what is that saying? A dog and pony show or whatever?
That's exactly what it is, yeah.
They just roll these people out to sit in their seats on their little throne of Congress. And then they have the people who sit behind them. And the one guy sits at the microphone. And then he gets grilled and he takes heat and then he's the headline and he's all over Twitter because he's sweating and he's flubbering over his answers. Meanwhile, Trump's laughing at this shit because nothing is getting done to him, you know?
Well, he said he was going to testify and then he was like, nah, I'm good.
That's why I think we spoke about this before. It's just like blah, blah, blah invites Trump to, you know, to testify like if he wants to. Like, why would he ever agree to do some shit that's voluntarily?
It is funny because he was like threatening that he'd do it, and then they were like, "All right, bet, do it," and he was like, "Nah."
Why?
It's so classic Trump. He's like, "Man, I want to do the opposite thing of what you're saying," and then they're like, "All right, bet, do it," and he's like, "Nah, you're bugging."
That's what I'm saying. He does that though. He does that. He says,
he
you know,
always
like,
does that.
I'm gonna do this, and then they're like, "All right, do it," and he's like, "No, I'm just fucking with you." What? Like. I don't get like why people still are holding on to like I remember when he first like it was the impeachment inquiry and everybody was all excited. Like I remember Lizzo or whatever that the musician.
Rapper? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She like came out at her show and put the words impeachment on her ass and like showed everybody and everyone was all jazzed and excited. But nothing is happening. Like I don't even know. Like when is is there supposed to be an end to this? Is there an ending? For real,
at some point they're supposed to vote in Congress on like after all the evidence is presented, then you have a vote in Congress, and then after you have the vote in Congress, it's supposed to get through and then go to the Senate. Like that's what's supposed to happen at some point. But yeah, you're right. It's like it's dragging out, and it's like it's in limbo. It feels like, you know.
That's what I'm saying. So technically, there's like no end date. Like you watch the World Series, it's 7 games. You know it's going to start.
No, as far as
I
don't know if there's an end date, but I don't think there is.
It's incredible that this shit still goes on. Like, it's fascinating. It's fascinating. And then there's shit like, what's her name, Harris, dropping out. That like, that'll get news for a couple days, and then she'll just fucking ride off into the sunset. Like,
Well,
what does she do now? She's nothing now,
well,
right?
she's a senator, so she'll just go
Oh,
back to
she's
the
still the
Senate.
center.
But the thing that's so funny is that like there were all these, like CNN did it, and then Nate Silver did it too, where they were saying like Kamala Harris is underrated, and CNN put her at #1 in their power rankings. And Kamala has talked about herself as a top, like, oh, I'm a top tier candidate. And then now she drops out this quickly. I have to say, early on, I thought that she was going to make a better run than she did.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I knew that she was overrated and that mainstream media was like trying to push her out there even more and that they were giving her way more credit than she deserved. And that when they say she's the front runner, I'm like, hell no, there's no empirical data to back that at all. But it must be said that she did way worse than anybody could have predicted. I mean, this was really bad. And you know what? A lot of the credit goes to Tulsi Gabbard for it because Tulsi Gabbard obliterated her on the debate stage. And it was right after that's when she started seeing the decline.
Yeah, I listened to her and the guy Jocko with Joe Rogan on her car ride, and I thought she was super reasonable. And my dad like dismissed her right away and was just like, I don't like her. She comes off as very pompous and like her answers, right? I'm like, she gets attacked every time someone either asks her a question or like
the media
anytime she has
despises
an
her.
opportunity to defend herself, it's like she's got to be confident because people come out her with like these outlandish, crazy fucking talking points that she has to defend. Like she's a vet and she's smart. Like,
Yeah,
she's
that
super
mindset
smart.
from your dad, I think a lot of people, unfortunately, have fallen into that trap because, yeah, the media has treated her so hostile all along that everybody's like, well, obviously not her. It's like, wait, what? Why? And it's like, they think, like, the Syria thing is a big deal. And
The whole Google shit was fascinating to listen to. How they just straight disregarded like any searches for her and just
yeah,
gave her no. It's like you guys with YouTube. There's no explanation as to why certain things get demonetized or why I search Tulsi Gabbard and nothing comes up.
yep.
And like, if you're the one that it's happening to, it's happened to some of my videos. And like, if someone is, all right, so if there's an algorithm that's demonetizing your video right off the bat, and then you can fight it and have somebody actually view it like a live person, they should put a description in there as to why it got demonetized. Like, not just deny it again. If there's a live person looking at it,
or also have a situation where it happens pretty quickly because oftentimes mine will be demonetized and I'm like, okay, I submit it for a review, and then like 10 hours later, after all the views already hit the video, then they'll give me an answer. And it's like, well, okay, I just lost like the key revenue period now.
Yep. You're telling me I can go to Wayfair.com and all these bullshit.com sites that are super big and they have that, live chat thing in the corner. You're telling me YouTube doesn't have enough fucking bandwidth to have a live chat where you're like, hey.
Well, in their defense, that would be hard because there's so many YouTube creators, man. So many.
But there has to be some way to have a fucking,
I mean, yes, in my opinion, they need to be a lot more creator friendly. But the reason why they're not is because of the thing that you saw in the 60 Minutes thing, where they're like, oh, there's so many crazy people out there, and if we don't, lean on the side of demonetizing and censoring, then you never know, it'll be like Nazi stuff all over the place, and we can't have that.
But
Like,
it's
that's
just
their
so
argument.
subjective.
I
Like
know.
the lady, they could be looking at your video right now with us talking, and like that map behind you, she can be like, well, you guys don't know, but that map was sold by a Russian company that blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, what? Like the littlest shit.
I know. It really is so subjective, and I don't trust their judgment at all. Like, I don't trust it even a little bit. Where they draw the line is nowhere near where I draw the line.
Yeah. I don't know why wouldn't, I don't know if it would help him, but like a Bernie Tulsi ticket or something like that, is that like a possibility? Or
yes,
she wouldn't
it's
want to
definitely
do
a
that
possibility. It's definitely a possibility. I think that if I had to guess, 3 who are in the running are Tulsi Gabbard, Elizabeth Warren, and Nina Turner. Probably 3 who could be his VP.
It's amazing that he just withstands the test of time and is just always there. You know, his name's always in the polls. It's never wavering. He's got the fans, he's got the rallies, and he gets no love for just, it's that consistency
Media
shit.
hates him.
He's always there.
Media hates Bernie, Tulsi, and Yang. Those are the three they don't like.
So now Yang was suing MSNBC because they didn't really give him any questions during that debate. Was that his
No,
whole thing?
he's not suing them, I don't think, but
Oh,
he
just
called
wanted
them
an
out.
apology?
Yeah, he called them out because it's true. They didn't ask him a question until like the 32 minutes into it. Apparently, Elizabeth Warren already had 3 questions before he even got one, and then they ask him questions that are like designed to like make him look ridiculous. Like, what would you say on your first phone call to Putin? Why should anybody trust you with foreign policy? It's like, what? That's your, like, why should anybody trust him with foreign policy? Why didn't you ask Mayor Pete that? Mayor Pete, who's the mayor of South Bend, Indiana. It's not even the biggest city in Indiana. Why is he ready for it? Oh, you didn't ask him that question. That's right. They didn't ask him that question because they like Mayor Pete. So they have favorites, and they would swear up and down they don't, but they definitely do. They just think
it's so clear.
It's smug, and they think like, oh, well, obviously he's not like a serious candidate, like, so just don't treat him as such. That's how they function. That's how they operate. With Bernie, even though he's been polling near the top the entire time, they think like, okay, but come on, it's not going to be Bernie, right? Like, that's the way they think.
And it's frustrating because the producers and directors of the show or whatever like that, they probably support some of these people like Bernie Sanders or whatnot.
Doubt it. They only hire.
You don't think so?
No, they only hire people who have that like same or similar like world outlook. That's the thing. Like Noam Chomsky wrote about this in Manufacturing Consent. It's not a conspiracy. It's that the filtering process happens in the hiring process. So like they would never hire somebody like me. They would never hire somebody like the other hosts who talk about politics because we actually think about this stuff, care about this stuff, have arguments and reasons for supporting certain people and liking certain people and not liking other people. Whereas the people they hire they don't rock the boat. They color within the lines, and they basically have the opinions that you would expect of any 6-figure, media person to have. They think like, oh yes, the people who are serious are like Joe Biden and Mayor Pete and Amy Klobuchar. Like they have their favorites.
I guess so, but I look at it as like once you get more specialized like jobs like that, like someone, maybe I guess more the cameraman or something like that, who like actually know how to operate shit that these people don't. They're probably like fans of Bernie Sanders and stuff like that. But
oh yeah, the ones who don't make any editorial decisions and the ones who aren't on air, sure, yeah. If there's like a working union guy who's like running the camera, yeah, there's a decent chance he's a Bernie supporter because he's an actual person.
Yeah, it's just crazy to think that like even right after the debates, the guy like Chris Matthews will come on air and they allow him, like he opens up his segment with just bashing Bernie Sanders. That like someone in their headset is just like, yep, we're live. And it's like he's going off and it's not like, oh, whoa, keep it in the middle, buddy. Where are you going with this one? It's just like straight bashing.
Yeah, they don't like him.
It's so obvious.
They don't like him. That's for sure.
And yeah, and not to bash on my dad, but I think I changed his mind a little bit, but he was like, Mayor Pete is sort of like Obama. He came into it with no limelight and, is coming up through the ranks. And I was like, yeah, but he wasn't great either. And he didn't really get much done. And he conformed to,
Definitely he conformed, for sure. I mean, this is a guy who ran, Obama ran saying he'd protect whistleblowers, and then he waged a war on whistleblowers.
Yeah.
They used, what's the name of it? The something act, the Espionage Act. Yeah, they were like prosecuting journalists and going after people using the Espionage Act when they were just good faith leakers trying to expose wrongdoing. And like he expanded the NSA spying powers. He bailed out Wall Street to the tune of $14 trillion. He continued these wars. He escalated the wars overseas, the Bush wars that he ran against. So I see your dad's right. Mayor Pete is like Obama, but that's not a good thing.
I know.
It's like he's going to conform to the system. He's going to be a status quo manager. Guys like you and me, we're not interested in status quo managers because we're young and we know the system is broken. Mm-hmm. I feel like the older generation, they're a little bit more comfortable than we are, and so they're a little more okay with the system maintaining as is.
Yeah.
But we know what it's like out there, and it's not good.
I don't know how like people in all honesty could think that a guy who didn't even successfully couldn't even take control of South Bend, Indiana, is now ready for the primetime lights of like the presidency. Like he's going to conform so much to the first thing he hears from someone saying, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. Like, shit is a mess where he's at right now. And
Yeah.
you're just going to fucking put him in the presidency? Like, that dude needs to take more heat. Like, ask that motherfucker a hard question and see if he, can give you a straight answer.
It's a scandal he's even polling as high as he's polling, because the reason he's polling this high is because the media relentlessly makes his case for him and acts like he's serious and acts like he's awesome and, oh, he had a good debate night. They would never just keep it real and be like, listen, this guy's in over his head and his policy positions are trash. He just released an ad saying why we can't have free college. Every argument he used was absolutely terrible. He's basically like lying and strawmanning his opponents and saying like, oh, I don't want to give free college to rich kids, implying that Bernie Sanders does want to do that. Meanwhile, most rich kids are not going to go to a public college. They're going to go to, private college. And then furthermore, they would be paying more in taxes anyway than they would get in terms of how much it would cost to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, their taxes go up to pay for free college, so they're going to net pay into the system regardless.
Yeah.
He's just full of it. He's full of it. He's a status quo manager, and he shouldn't be in the position that he's in at all, but he's only there because the media loves him.
And I saw before, I guess, Harris dropped out, like, I guess her campaign manager or somebody went over to Bloomberg's, like, team.
Yeah,
which is just, like, the most hilarious thing to me.
I mean, I hate Kamala, but that person was also soulless as hell. Like, obviously, if you're going from Kamala to Bloomberg, like,
how do you do that? Like,
like they were trying to be morally like, I can't believe the way that this campaign was treating me. You're going to work for Bloomberg. Bloomberg's the guy in New York City who blocked a minimum wage increase. Don't talk to me about like, oh, we're not treated fair. You're supporting a candidate who doesn't want to treat anybody fair.
The fact that he's even like. There's a 0% chance that Mike Bloomberg will win this shit. Like that's my survey, and I've surveyed myself.
People I like are sort of weary on Twitter. Like there's two dudes who I like and I follow.
Don't tell me they think he's got a chance.
Both of them are like, easy. Don't be too quick to dismiss. I'm like, I'm dismissing.
There's a 0% chance, but the fact that he's wasting so much money on he's the only ad I see on TV. He's the only shit I see on TV.
He's on. I went to my mom's the other day, and I saw like a bunch of the Bloomberg ads, and apparently he has kicked up to like 5% because it's so gross that he just $37 million ad buy in all these different states, and now he's got like 5% in the polls, which is still not good, but he just bought that. Like that was just bought. It was flat out bought.
Yeah.
Really pathetic, man. Oh, I hate him so much.
I know.
Like, go away, man. Fuck with your giant ego, just trying to buy legitimacy. Meanwhile, he's not, like, I really disagree with him on a lot of stuff. I mean, the fact that he did that big gulp ban, like, that is perfect.
But does he even have policies as a president, or are we just basing him off everything he's done in the past? Like,
yeah, it's a good point. We're just going based off his record at this point. I'm sure he'll release new stuff at some point. It's
probably going to be terrible.
It's going to be terrible, but, like, dude, think about that. He banned big gulps. Like, he banned big sodas. Like, do you realize how ridiculous you have to be to look at all the problems going on in New York City, and the thing you decided to spend your time on was like, you have a big soda and I don't like that. I'm going to ban it. I'm against your big soda.
Oh.
Like, are you a child? Like, what are you doing?
And
go
Big
end
Gulps
homelessness.
Is like one of the best things ever. If you just need a fucking diesel-ass drink.
And also, if you want, you could just get, like, 2 of the smaller ones now. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he'd waste all this time to, like, morally grandstand saying, I don't want you to get fat. I'm going to stop you from drinking soda. And you could just go and get 2 smaller ones.
Oh, man. I wonder what is, like, the official thing that will make somebody drop out? You think she just, like, dried up on money? Because like
usually when they have the realization that there's like a 0% chance they're actually going to win, that's when they'll drop out.
But like, so why is this guy still doing pull-ups talking about
Delaney?
You know, yeah,
it's hard to tell, man. Like somebody DM'd me the other day and was like, when is Sandra Bullock going to drop out? When is the other one going to drop out? Sestak, and Sestak dropped out, and Sandra Bullock dropped out like back to back that same day.
Who's Sandra Bullock again?
Oh, I think his real name is Steve Bullock. He's like a governor from like Montana or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah, but like...
That's why I'm curious. Is like, I knew... like I was
because Delaney's rich as hell, man. He's probably doing the same thing that Bloomberg's doing to an extent, where he's like, I got money to blow. You know?
They keep getting attention because they're still in the race.
God, he's so annoying, Delaney.
Yeah, I know.
First of all, everything he's pushing, like, he's worse than Pete in that he doesn't want to change like anything. He's just, we can't do this, we can't do that, we can't do this. Anything Bernie's for, I'm against it. That's his whole thing. And then he just tweets pictures of him working out and videos of him working out. Like, nobody wants to see your weird, bald-headed ass work out, man. Like, what do you think is happening? You think that, like, women are watching this and they're like, oh, John Delaney.
I'm sure he's gotten more women still being in the race than if he were to drop out of that shit, low-key.
If there's a woman out there who wants to give him the time of day, goodness gracious, you better reevaluate your life.
You think Klobuchar is getting down with people on the stage? Is she married?
Let's see. Let's do some useless speculation. Klobuchar, who would
the lady
be...
definitely walks on the stage and looks at the women. He's probably like, "What's up? What's up?"
Who, Delaney?
Yeah.
He's awkward, man. Like, he should not be jacked. Like, the fact that he's like John Bastow. Remember that guy, John Bastow?
Yes.
Where his body does not match his face? It's like, nah, you can't. Like, your body, it just doesn't match. That's not...
But he doesn't show his feet in that pull-up video.
Why does his feet matter?
Someone who does a pull-up. Because he could be standing on some shit. Pulling. Anyone who does a pull-up video knows that, like, you got to show your legs to make sure that they're off the ground.
But to be fair to him, he's OD jacked, so he definitely was just doing it.
Like, because he's mad rich and he definitely just has a personal trainer that, like, just gives him workouts to do. Like, I respect someone who's broke as fuck that's jacked because they got to do the research.
No, I hear
on
you,
themselves.
but that was my way of saying he was definitely doing real pull-ups because he's bench
I don't know,
pressing
man.
and doing everything.
I don't know. The video, it conveniently gets chopped off right at the feet.
He didn't get those muscles by cheating his way through workouts, that's for sure. Have you seen like a picture of him like for real without his like shirt on or with some tight stuff on?
No.
He's OD jacked.
Really?
He's on some like you're a high school football player and all I do is work out type stuff. Like when he's not telling people they shouldn't have healthcare in college, he's working out.
And his claim to fame was he was just like a Wall Street dude who made a lot of money?
No, I think he was he's rich as hell, but he's also, I think, a congressman? Let me look it up.
Oh, is he?
I think so. Let's see. John Delaney Wiki.
When I think John Delaney, I think there's like a comedian named John Delaney also.
Rob Delaney.
Is it Rob Delaney?
I think there's a Rob Delaney.
Definitely that dry comedian.
I think there's a Rob Delaney. Okay, so John Kevin Delaney is an American attorney, businessman, and politician who's running for president of the United States in 2020. He was the United States representative for Maryland's 6th Congressional District from 2013 to 2019. So he was a congressman from 2013 to 2019.
Oh, he's a congressman?
Yeah, from Maryland.
Okay. Yeah, there is a Rob Delaney who's a comedian, but I'm thinking of someone else. Oh, Mulaney, maybe.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, there's a John Mulaney. That's who I'm thinking of.
I wonder how
Different
he got
guy.
his wealth. If I'm not mistaken, it was creepy as fuck.
He definitely did some corrupt shit.
Delaney co-founded 2 companies that were publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange. He won an entrepreneur award. In 1993, he co-founded Healthcare Financial Partners to make loans to smaller-size healthcare service providers to be ignored by larger banks. So he's getting rich off the healthcare system, which is screwing people like crazy. Screw you, John Delaney. No wonder why his whole thing is like, we can't have universal healthcare.
Yeah, because that's who's paid his whole career.
Yeah, like he's made money from our healthcare system.
Who was the guy from California that just came out that said he was going to campaign for Kamala Harris in like Iowa?
Oh,
Gavin Newsom.
Gavin Newsom.
Has he turned into like a parody of a guy, or people still like him?
Oh, he's OD a parody of a guy. He's got that I mean, no disrespect because I used to sell cars, but like he's got that car salesman vibe where he's got like the hair slicked back and whatnot.
The Matthew McConaughey.
Like, yo, you're a grown-ass man. You cannot have that hair like that. Nobody trusts you with that hair. Like, you look like you're about to rob somebody with that hair.
He does. Every time he speaks, I'm like, this dude looks too smooth.
Exactly. He's trying to sell you something. He's definitely doing something on the low. Like,
you think so?
Oh, OD doing something on the low. He's got like 7 side pieces.
He tries to come off as like the super. Like, he was on LeBron's The Shop show and signed like the California players to get paid act. Or something
I give him props on that. That's what's up that he did that.
But yeah, I mean that's not a hard like decision to make.
You'd be surprised. There's a lot of terrible opinions and people out there who would just be like, no.
Yeah, that's true.
Go play
I thought
college
at
ball.
some point, like when he used to be on Bill Maher, that like he was gonna run for president and be like the next.
He definitely still at some point is going to run for president for
Oh,
sure.
you think so?
Oh, absolutely. That dude, you kidding me? That dude's got political ambition all over him.
He does, right?
He's got political ambition.
But what is he waiting until he gets older? Like, why not just?
I mean,
hop
he's
into
young as
this
hell
thing?
now, if I'm not
Oh, really?
mistaken. Let me see how old he is.
It's just funny that
He
like,
ain't getting in the White House if he doesn't change that haircut, bro. Although, you know what? I can't say anything because of Donald Trump.
he might be the next, like, because it goes in waves. So if Bernie wins, he's gonna be the next shit.
He's
'Cause
52.
Oh yeah, so he's still fairly young if he were to become president.
He could
But,
easily
like,
run in 4 years and 8 years. He could run. Yeah. He's got plenty of time.
Oh man,
He was married to Kimberly Guilfoyle,
who's that?
a Fox News host.
Oh really? Is she
And
bad?
she's mad conservative.
and he's the opposite.
He's the yes. Wow. That is weird, man.
That is weird.
And they were married for 5 years, 2001 to 2006. When we were in high school, they were married.
And now he's single.
Let's see.
I wouldn't be surprised if a dude like that with that haircut and those suits, like those suits are recycled suits. Those are suits from when he was super conservative. You don't buy those suits as a fucking liberal.
Hey, you're a governor. You got to wear OD nice suits.
Nah, but his shits are OD nice. Like, I need a little bit of crustiness in your suit. Like
Bernie.
oh,
Bernie's on some
Bernie's
like
a little crusty.
I got this from Burlington Coat Factory.
Yeah, but like De Blasio, like he'll just have some regular blue suit on or something
Well,
like that.
he's also a Yeti though.
Like Newsom will have like some pinstripes in his shit occasionally. You don't buy that if you're a semi.
Yeah, you can't. And he's got to stop with the slick backness, man. That ain't right.
That Gordon Gekko shit.
Yeah, Gordon, that's it. You nailed it. That's exactly why I'm like put off by it, is because it's the exact look of like the greediest person in human history.
The Wall Street shit.
Okay, so he is married now. Jennifer Siebel Newsom. She's a documentary filmmaker, and she's the director, writer, and producer.
So you know he's about to have some fire content if he runs for something.
Who, Gavin Newsom?
Yeah, if his wife is like a director. Top
Oh,
lady.
that's a good point. Yeah.
I wish I could dance as good as Twitch on the Ellen Show.
Yo, what? Let me ask you a question. What's that dude who does? No, what's that? The video game where all the kids now do the dance from that video game.
Fortnite?
It's Fortnite. That's what it is. Because every
That shit
time,
might even be. It might even be on some like we're over Fortnite shit.
no, it definitely is that. Because I'm going
Oh.
back like 4 years probably in my head to when it started. But like whenever I'm watching a basketball game, like with League Pass, they do like they'll show during halftime. They'll just
Yeah, I saw this when I was at your crib. Yeah,
they'll just do like the picture of the audience or whatever,
so
and
weird
like
that they do that. Yeah,
it is weird. It's weird. I guess they have some sort of deal where they can't show the local programming when it's like the halftime show or whatever.
Could be. Yeah,
But
it'll just be the local announcer lady. Like, we're going to section 401 right now.
basically that's what it is. So like they'll have like dance contests and whatnot, and then you'll see like the kids will all do the same dance.
Yeah, that like whatever.
that one,
like,
yeah, that one,
yeah.
and then the fucking thing where they go like that.
Oh yeah.
The arm thing, like where.
If that shit has hit NBA Arena's in-game show, you know it's time to retire that shit. Like if you see.
No, it's
mothers
mad
doing
annoying.
that
Yeah,
shit-
I'm coming out hard against the Fortnite dance because like in the same way that we had the annoying Macarena when we were younger.
That was a banger though for a hot second.
Not even. I'm not even gonna give you that. Screw the Macarena. Hate it.
If someone pulls the Macarena out at a wedding though, like now,
But that's why
I'll
it's so
sort of-
annoying is that everybody's like
yeah. Well, yeah.
the fact that like everybody does it makes me hate it. It's like, no. I want some person to be like, you know what, man? Fuck this song. Won't somebody be brave enough to say it? If I ever run for president, one of the things I'm gonna say is, and fuck the Macarena.
That's gonna be Kyle 2036.
Fuck the Macarena. And the Fortnite dance.
That would be such a good slogan.
But like
One
all the
side is-
kids were doing it, and I was like, I sort of hate the fact that all you like have never danced before, and you learn to dance, and the way you learn to dance is just by doing that dumb Fortnite thing over and over and over and over and over.
So are there some exceptions to the rule? Like why has the electric slide like withstood the test of time? Or like the cha-cha slide could sort of pass for being okay.
I really don't know. I know the electric slide song. I don't really know the dance.
It's yeah, neither. I can't think of it either right now.
I know the funky chicken too. Like
What's a dun 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 dun. That's the only shit.
Is that the electric slide?
I think so.
It's time for the electric
Nope.
slide.
Oh wait, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I
The
think it
beginning
goes something
wasn't
like
right,
that.
but the beginning wasn't right, but the end of the shit, I was like, everybody is the electric star. How's that shit go? I'm about to look up like
Yeah, look it
generic
up. Actually,
ass,
you can't play it. You can't play it because we'll get
Oh,
this shit pulled down or whatever.
I think that's it though. It's the dun 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 dun.
It's time for the electric
Then you like
slide.
yeah, electric boogie oogie oogie
Boogie,
oogie.
oogie, oogie.
Yeah, we're getting it. We're getting it.
It's so stupid. I hate all the only viral dances that I semi get down with are whenever the hoodest of the hood ones pop up.
Like what?
Lean
Wait,
with it, rock with it,
oh,
lean
yeah.
with it, rock with it.
Hit a window to the wall.
Or you don't
That's a banger.
soldier boy, tell him. Like those I get
Hit a
down
window
with.
to the wall is a banger because it's like wherever you are, you got to point. Even if there's no walls
To
in
the
your shit, you got to
window,
point.
yeah.
Like there could be no window or no wall in your shit. You're pointing from left to right.
Yeah, but like all
Banger.
the other ones I'm not down with.
Even like Lil Wayne's "The Fireman" when that like the siren hits in the beginning.
That's a dope
That,
song.
like, there's
There's no dance for it, right? No, there's no dance for that.
So
But that's a dope song. I love that song.
that's a banger. Yeah,
Yeah, he had a minute there where everything he dropped, I was like, that's fire, that's fire, that's fire, that's fire. It just wouldn't stop.
yeah, and then the CD was dope.
And he did
Fabulous just came out with a mixtape that wasn't that good.
Didn't Lil Wayne go on like didn't he do a thing with everybody? Like he had like a song with everybody. He collaborated more than anybody. Right?
He did something with like Chance the Rapper and DJ Khaled, and like Justin Bieber was on it. On the one,
Okay.
I think Lil Wayne was on there. They sometimes hit you with that shit with like everybody on it. Like they came out with the it was like Welcome to Atlanta where the play is play, and then they came out with like another one where everyone
Yep,
like,
I remember that.
their shit. It was like Snoop Dogg was like wow what's Snoop Dogg, and then like Nelly was on it, Diddy was on it.
These are
they come
almost you've almost
mad
seen
stuff.
all of these people at the Garden.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I saw a picture of Shaq recently with Rick Ross, like before Rick Ross was anything, and he just looked like some regular ass fat dude.
He was a security guard. He was
like prison, right?
Yeah, prison guard.
Crazy. You know what's crazy? What's even crazier is there's people that probably worked with him that still work at that shit.
And they're like, that's just like Dave or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean, Dave? Oh, that's just Dave. That is kind of crazy. How there's different layers to people. Yeah, like you know me not as secular talk, Kyle. You know me as Kyle.
Yeah. Or like you walk back into the dealership to say what up to people, and they're just
And
like,
they know me as Kyle from the dealership.
yeah, just like sitting at the desk, this and that. But like, if they were to go with you to Politicon or some shit, they'd be like, what the fuck?
Exactly. They'd be like, I don't understand this. What are you
I've had
talking
people
about?
ask me that when I went out on Thanksgiving Eve. People were like, yo, Kyle, like from high school? They're like, I didn't realize like he had a YouTube show and shit. I was like, yeah. They're like, damn.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's all about context. It's all about what you know. Everybody's personal experience is so different. Like everybody's got their own like heroes and idols and shows they love, and it's all so subjective. Like you can be, if you're into certain things, you might think a specific person is the most famous person ever, but like not that many people even know that person because you're just into like pool or whatever it is.
Yep.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like to you, that's like, oh my God, that's this person. But everybody else is like, what? I don't even know who that is.
I know. Yeah, that's nuts. I mean, I think I gravitate more towards like the big name celebrities, but
And
there probably are some
sports people. You know,
sports people,
all
yeah.
sports people.
Yeah, I would get excited for some lower tier sports person also, you know, just because I'll be like, yo, he had a game one time where he lit that shit up, you know, and I would get excited to like take a picture with him.
I think it's really cool that we're friends with Justin Jackson. That's our boy.
I feel so bad for the Chargers, man. I feel so bad.
Justin, just so you know, man, if you're watching Justin, Corin has watched every game since we became boys.
I read the I
Every
go on
game.
Twitter and I check the like inactive or active reports before the game to see if he's playing or not. And his shit must be fucked up a little bit because he hasn't played in a hot minute.
Well, whatever the reason is, they need to give him burn, man.
They need to give him burn. And there's been mad articles that the Chargers have lost mad heartbreaking games recently. Like, I think they've lost 7 or something games.
Well, maybe they should have run Justin Jackson then.
I know. So, like, when he comes back, now you guys are at the point where you're at, Justin needs to get mad burn. Mad burn.
Yeah, it's messed up that they're not. I gotta ask him. I gotta ask him how he's feeling.
Yeah, ask him how he's feeling and let me know, man, because I'm his number one fucking fan. I check that shit all the time.
Literally, he will watch every game, and now I know you're looking at the active and inactive.
Well, because they've been on a lot of primetime games. They played in, like, Mexico, so their shits are on, like, NBC, and then they were on Monday Night Football, and then they were on, like, Sunday Night Football. So the last couple of weeks, they've been on, like, primetime, so I don't got no package to watch his shit. He's
been on the active list, but just hasn't played.
No, he's been on inactive.
Oh, okay, he's hurt still then.
He's still hurt. He was active the week after we met up with him, I think, for the Green Bay game.
But then he got hurt again?
Yeah, maybe it acted up or some shit again, because then he was out for a couple weeks.
Man,
but I look at it as better when a player's injured, because it's like it gives him a season to stay fresh, you know?
Yeah, but you just hope that other teams don't look at that as decreasing value.
I don't think so. I think they look at more so what he did prior, you know, and it was just like, this dude was a savage.
And he was beasting, yeah.
He was beasting, and now he's like he didn't even play and take any hits or any blows, and he's good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think it'll be good money, but like, he needs to come back and just beast. I get so excited when I thought I saw him on the sidelines. I was like, yo, I know that dude.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man. He's a good dude.
Jimmy Kimmel's wearing a purse on Ellen's show.
Did you see the Kanye things that there's mad stuff that's been blowing up with Kanye in it?
Oh my god. I listened to Chick-fil-A on Sunday or some shit, none of his songs.
Yeah, that's one of the things that blew up. Is like that stupid song where he was just like, "You're my Chick-fil-A" or something.
Yeah.
And it's just like him and Kim and the kids awkwardly walking.
Why do people, like, Molly opened it up and, like, listened. She was like, I just want to see it. I was like, just stop paying attention to this guy. Like, that was the song. There was no mute. Like, it was,
You're
like,
my
there wasn't a hot beat.
No.
It was just talking.
I'm saying, man, he's really weird. Like, he's out there. I get annoyed when people try to act like he's just a genius and that's the end of the conversation.
That's what I'm upset about too. Is like I've started to figure out, like, are people geniuses or are they just fucking idiots? And this guy is like, he's not a genius.
Definitely not a genius
because he's duping everybody into believing he's a genius. But he's an idiot. Like, that's not like. I didn't listen to the song. I heard it because she played it. But like, why do people fall for that shit, man?
They were playing a board game. No, I'm sorry. They were playing a game with the dictionary on.
I saw a highlight of that.
Yeah, the new episode of like Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and it's like something like just open up to a page in the dictionary and like list every word that's like positive or negative or something like that.
And they were like, "Did you have that word circled?" And they were like, "Nope." And then he was like,
"Why not?" Like, it was some genius shit.
You gotta just like cancel Kanye. Like I've been saying this for a while. Like, unfriend him. Stop watching the Kardashian shit.
But he might be on some, like, he's hit a level where it's on like some South Park stuff where like they could do anything on the show and nobody's gonna be like, oh my god. So like he could just keep doing weird stuff and everybody will just be like, that's Kanye. Like that's what he does.
Of course, yeah. That's what he's doing. When you come out with a Chick-fil-A song that says closed on Sundays, that's what you're doing. Like, he's just trolling now, and like, I think the clothes he comes out with.
He went to Joel Osteen's like church and rambled for like an hour. He gave a speech at that guy Joel Osteen, that big televangelist dude.
Yeah,
he was giving a speech and just babbling and going all over the place, and everybody, you could tell everybody in the audience was like uncomfortable, but they were like trying to be nice.
People were just so like, I'm a little mad at David Letterman when he had Kanye on to do his My Next Guest Is. He went to Kanye's house and like got fitted in his like Kanye dressed him in some wardrobe shit, and it was like one of the things Dave Letterman liked was like this super creepy long trench coat, and he was like, I like this, and I was just like, no, you don't. You don't like that because you look like a child molester. And like to convince yourself that you like something because this person is in front of you. Like, I'll keep it real. If I'm at Kanye's house, I don't care if he's like if he puts some shit on me that looks whack and creepy, I'm gonna say, yo, this isn't my. I won't shit on his clothes because obviously he took time to make it. But then I'll be like, it's not for me, dog. This shit sort of looks whack.
He always tries to, like, the thing that gets me is that he's always like obnoxious about the fact that he says he's a genius. It's like the opposite of humble. It's like, I'm a genius. Remember when he was like saying, Mark Zuckerberg, give me like $1 billion or something?
Well, people need to get called out on their shit, and I don't want to like shit on like Cenk, but we were eating, and he was like, yeah, I'm gonna have Bernie and Warren on my shit, and then I'm gonna decide who I want to vote for. And I think I hit him with some shit like, they'll both come on your shit and do that?
Yeah, you did say that.
And then he was like, he sort of disregard, like, someone has to sit there with Kanye West when he says some dumb shit and be like, the Adam Sandler shit, just be like, that was the dumbest shit I heard. And if he gets mad at you and you don't talk to him anymore,
that's what's up.
That's what's up. But someone needs to say it and stop letting this dude think that everything he says is gold, you know?
He really does think everything he says is gold. I don't know how Kim puts up with it. Not that she's like amazing or anything, but she seems like a relatively normal person.
She seems like she's doing good things, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she does good things. She's trying to get her like law degree or whatever, and she helped that person get out of jail, which was the most amazing thing ever. I give her mad props for that. Yeah. But like, you got this dude who's having like a meltdown on a daily basis next to you. Like, what? What is going on there?
They just fucking, like, look at every person that they've been with. You know, Lamar Odom got all fucked up.
Well, that's what Joe Rogan said. He had a joke about that. About, like, that everything, that's what happens. It's like the Kardashian kiss of death or something. Whenever dudes get in that house, they just lose it. The Lamar Odom one, Kanye, he brings up Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah, man. It's like, what's the movie where he gets hypnotized in the basement? The shit that everybody saw. The one from Key and Peele wrote it.
What the
was the name of that
Get
movie?
Out, Get Out, Get Out.
Get Out. Yeah, it's like Get Out, but you in the Kardashian home.
Basically.
You go in there and they got a dungeon in the basement that just turns your fucking brain to mush or some shit, or it's that booty.
What about well, I was just gonna say that dude Tristan Thompson, wasn't he dating one of them? He was dating Chloe?
No, Courtney.
Courtney.
No. Chloe.
And then what's it?
He cheated on her.
And he's trash at basketball.
He's trash, but he's a good rebounder. He's from Canada.
He's been on the Cavs since like 1876.
Yeah, he's been on the Cavs since 1876.
But like,
so was Kevin Love.
Well, who else was it? There's been so many. Reggie Bush was another one.
Yeah, Chris Humphries.
That dude was obnoxious, man.
He was, and he was super dumb. Like, he was a straight Minnesota cat that like would just be like, "Duh, kid."
I never watched. Did you ever watch that show? I've only seen like one episode of that show in my life.
I walk by sometimes when Molly's watching. I don't think she watches it anymore, but like the shit they say and do, and like their friends, it's just like it's embarrassing.
It's so vapid, right? Like it just
turns your brain to mush, and sometimes that's good to just get away and escape and like just see these people that are living in a totally different world and be like, wow, people live like that and they do this type of shit. But I don't know how anyone could watch that and actually be like, I enjoy this because it's like educational.
A lot of people do, man. There's so many women who just try to be her. Like, their whole identity is based off of, like, I'm a clone of her. Probably, I'm not sure any person has inspired more clones than her. Like, there are more Kim Kardashian clones walking around, Kim Kardashian female clones, than there are, like, back in the day when everybody had the frosted tips trying to be like Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, or Backstreet. Yeah.
And that was on some next level stuff where a lot of people were doing it, but she is like the record breaker for people who want to be her.
And I don't think people really like realize it. Like, you need to go to like Los Angeles airport and sit there all day, or go to Las Vegas airport and really see some women, or Miami, with like fake asses and like big lips.
And OD dyed black hair
with like big sunglasses, and like there's a lot more women out there than you think that really, really, really are trying to like change their whole look to be something like how she looks.
And in a way, it's weird because what she's doing now, it's like she's grown into being a better person. And like, but she inspired all these like totally vapid people to keep being vapid.
Yep.
But like, is it going to happen in like 5 years that we get a whole new, like a whole big burst on the scene of like all these female civil rights lawyers who all look like Kim Kardashian because they're all trying to copy her?
I hope so. I mean,
that would be what's up though. If they all did that and they all became like positive because she's being positive now.
That's why it's like I haven't heard too much about her. She really seems to like the last I saw her, it was on like some talk show, it might have been Ellen or something, and she was like, "I'm really just trying to fly under the radar," and
which is why you're on Ellen.
yeah, I know. Well, like she was like, I'm getting my law degree and not really trying to be in the limelight as much and shit like that.
Well, how do they have a new season of the show then if she's doing all that other stuff?
Who knows?
They probably just
down to the science.
Throw money at that family. Kylie's a billionaire, man.
You could turn anybody into like a celebrity. Like, look at me. Like, I'm nobody, but like you grew your channel out to be the shit that it is, and people, like my shit on Twitter because they know me from you.
Now,
like,
imagine you had a reality TV show and they gave it like a time slot that's like kind of decent. All of a sudden,
producers doing it and cameramans who knew what they were doing.
All of a sudden, you could be a trendsetter. Like you could do one thing. Like let's say you got, remember that old school back in the day, like the high piercing, the like hoop that's up high. If you just did that one day, then there would be like hundreds of people who were just like, I got the Corin shit.
Yep. It's sort of sad and scary that happens.
It's sad and scary, but then also like everybody needs role models. You know what I mean? Like. And some people are lucky enough to have it in the sense of like somebody very close to them, like a family member, like a parent or whatever. But I don't know, man. It's at like 50-50. Half the time, it's not your parents, and then like you have to find your own person or people who you respect and admire and view as like a guiding star or whatever. We all have
there's a lot of people that look to you for that shit. Progressive Voice used to rock like the collared shirts and jackets.
Listen,
and shit
man,
like that because he looked up to you.
I can't hate on him. Because I did it too. Yeah. When I started my thing, I started it full time in 2012. There was a whole amalgamation of hosts who gave me my identity and like helped me build my philosophy. And like there was a lot of Tom Hartman inspiration in there. He was like the OG Air America radio host. There was Cenk Uygur in there. There was Bill Maher. Like I had the same thing. I had like a mix of hosts who I learned a lot from, and I saw like kind of the format and how to move forward. And we all have it. It's just to what extent. Dude, Kobe Bryant, who's one of the best basketball players of all time, is a flat out Michael Jordan ass kisser. Like 100%, like every move. And Jordan even says it. He's like, Kobe does all my moves. Like he took all my moves.
Yeah.
There are compilations. I watched one recently. Kobe and Jordan doing the exact same moves, like the exact same spot on the
spots on the court.
And the jumper looks exactly the same. Listen, as somebody who plays golf, I can't give you two golfers whose swings are as similar as Kobe's shot and Jordan's shot. They're the exact same.
Yeah, it was
and
crazy.
Even the tongue thing. Remember Jordan used to run with his tongue out? And then Kobe was running with his tongue out. And Kobe Bryant, this is no disrespect to Kobe Bryant at all, because he is literally one of the best ever. He's in the conversation for the best ever, and Jordan is the best ever. But like, he built his whole identity on that dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was his role model. So you can't hate. And Joe says it too when it comes to comedy. He's like, there were periods. I don't know who he did it with. Joe did it with somebody. I don't remember who it was. I'm blanking on it. It's in the back of my mind, but I'm forgetting.
George Carlin?
No, it wasn't George Carlin for Joe. That wasn't his favorite.
Oh, I know. The loud person.
Yeah, the
right?
fat guy. What's his name? Oh, 1980s comedians I'm going to type in. Kinison, Sam Kinison.
Sam Kinison,
I think that was his that was his kind of format when he started. And there might be maybe one or two others who were kind of sprinkled in there. But he said there was a period where you'd see nothing but like Bill Hicks knockoffs, because Bill Hicks at the time was the hot thing, and so people were like trying to look at him as like he's the formula or whatever. It happened with Dave Attell for a hot minute when Dave Attell like had his Comedy Central show and he kind of popped off and was the big comedian, and then everybody was trying to talk like him, like this. And Joe was like, you saw it. It was so obvious what people were doing. But like, you know, of all the people who tried to copy that, maybe there's one or two others that pop off who are in that same kind of mold, and then they grow their own identity after that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's good to have your own mix of things too. I think that's what you're good at, is like you have your own mix, but you could still see a little flair of someone, you know, else if you're looking for it, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I got nothing but respect for, you know, the ones that came before me and the ones who were... I'm sure if you ask like Humanist Report, he probably started with a little bit of inspiration from my thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So there's like, that's just the cycle of it. And now today, there are some people watching them who might not even know about my show, and they're watching them, and then they will start something based off them, you know?
Yep.
That's just the cycle of it, man.
Yeah. That's how the world goes around. And then eventually it'll go back to fucking Wolf Blitzers again in 40 years.
Literally nobody likes Wolf Blitzer. Like, even the people at CNN, when he comes in, are probably like, oh, you're so boring, man. Like, how do you have this job?
I don't know how he's got that job. Like, that would be the last person that I hired for a TV
Literally.
job.
The last person.
The last. And he's looked like that since probably he's been 4 years old.
Oh, he doesn't grow, yeah. He came out like that.
With the beard, with the white shit.
With the glasses, the whole thing.
With the glasses. He didn't go into his interview looking like fucking George Clooney, and all of a sudden he's aged. Someone hired him looking like that.
Their whole thing was like, find me the most boring person you could ever find anybody. And then they brought him in.
Yep.
And it's crazy, because like, if they're really going to talk about how ratings matter, well, then why is that dude on TV?
I don't know. Like, their reach, their edginess is that guy, Cuomo, or whatever the fuck his name is.
Chris Cuomo.
Yeah, like, that's their, like, oh, we're being edgy with this guy. You sure you want to put him on the air?
Yeah.
He's got a temper.
And it's like, that dude is the son of the former governor of New York and the current governor, and the brother of the current governor of New York.
How the fuck do you think he got his job?
Exactly. And I'm sure if you talk to him, he'd say like a little bit like, well, yeah, they help, blah, blah, blah. But then he'd be like, but I mean, come on. I mean, I worked for it.
Fuck out of here, Frodo.
And not for nothing. Like, he's good. He's good to jank and has on like TYT. So I don't want to hate on him too much or anything. But
yeah, I feel like we'd get along with him.
We'd probably get along with him. But you know what, man? Like, up your stuff a little bit, dog. Like, he's so standard. Like, everything is so predictable.
Yeah.
Like all this
all that shit is. Rachel Maddow, all those motherfuckers are so predictable. It's just so funny that, like, after the debates, and I keep going back to this shit, all of these hosts who are in the studio that talk to them always just praise them. It's like, you did such a great job. Like, never once. They'll just be like, you could have asked more about this or that. Like, it's just a love fest afterwards. And it's just like, stop being so
I don't know how anybody sincerely watches any of the main networks. CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. I have no idea. I have no idea how they watch them, because they're unwatchable to me. Like, I'll see little clips and then cover the little clips, but to watch extended periods of time of them, I just can't do it, because they're just so bad. Somebody who's in the realm of politics, I have a good sense for like what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, what should be covered, what shouldn't be covered, what's entertaining, what's not entertaining, and reliably, they are abysmal.
Yeah, I know. And there's so many shows, like, and I don't even think I know the magnitude of how many shows there are. Like, I watch ESPN all the time, and there's Around the Horn, there's PTI, there's like Outside the Lines. There's all that shit probably for those stations as well, right? Like, MSNBC's probably got some show called like I don't know, the Front Line or the Back, you know, like shit that they just talk about the same stuff.
But I feel like ESPN and them, they're even better, because at least they have some thought-provoking stuff every now and then. Like when they have a debate between like Stephen A. Smith and what's his face, Max Kellerman or whatever his name is. Like, at least it's interesting and entertaining. You don't get anything like that from CNN or MSNBC or Fox News. It is just like wall-to-wall, boring, exactly what you'd expect nonsense.
And even if it is, like, Fox News, you might have posted the clip, but they had some guy on talking about Michelle Obama potentially running, and he changed the topic to, like, why is Tucker Carlson even on TV? And, like, kept saying that shit, and the news anchor guy was like, well, we didn't bring you on here to talk about Tucker Carlson. And they just wanted him, they thought they were bringing on someone controversial that can, like, disagree with whatever they were talking about. And he brought up, like, an actual conversation, and they just like shitted on him because he wasn't conforming to what they brought him on air to talk about.
I don't think I saw this.
Oh yeah, it was actually pretty funny. Like, they were just like, is Michelle Obama going to run? Blah, blah, blah. And he was like, Yeah, he just shitted on Tucker Carlson the whole time.
That's weird as hell. Why would he do that? That's so strange.
Well, Tucker was the one who they cut the clip to, who made the argument, and it was just like a dumb argument for whatever reason. And then he sort of started it by saying, well, why is this guy even on air if he says dumb shit like this?
It sounds like
sense.
It sounds like if I watched this, I would hate it too.
Yeah, no, it was pretty frustrating to watch. But yeah, they fake have controversy. Like they think you're coming on Fox News because you're gonna conform to whatever they want. But you go on there and fucking light shit up.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like they probably have some of those those ESPN segments. They don't know what the other person's gonna say.
Exactly.
Whereas with ours, it's like, you say this and then he'll say that. And it's just like so predictable and stupid and annoying. And now it's just nothing but the impeachment stuff nonstop where they all agree. They all agree like, oh, this is devastating and it's going to end his presidency, right? Oh, yeah, totally. And then they just keep moving on.
I can't believe it's still going on. Like I said, there's no end sight. Oh, no, there's no end date in sight. And it's just, I feel like wasting money. It's wasting time. It's wasting everything. It's just our political system. It's so stupid.
I know, man. I know. Bernie 2020. All right, let's wrap this bad boy up.
I'm gonna go get some unhealthy shit.
I will. My next meal will be eggs with one piece of whole grain toast.
Oh, that actually sounds pretty like refreshing.
Yeah, it is. It's gonna be. It's tasty and it's also kind of refreshing.
I love how Skype at the end of our podcast will always start to fuck up or do something. Like it lets us know. Like there's a little lag on your mouth, but Skype will always just do it at the end of our shits.
Yeah, that's true. It does kind of at the end.
Never in the beginning, never in the middle. It's always at the end. It's just like, all right, we're getting tired.
So it lets us know it's time to end it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We love you, baby, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.